Hello, V Academy community and our VA squads. Happy Wednesday. So today we're going to have our squad talk. Teka, nag-a-adjust pa ang aking Facebook page. We are tuning in live right now. Ayan. Kailangan pala i-click ko siya. All right. Hello, squads. Drop a heart in the chat box. Ganyan. Happy Wednesday. Kamusta kayong lahat? It's our first time again this year going live directly in our page. So if you're part of our group, your confident VA community, mag-join ka dito kasi mag-squad talk tayo. So welcome everyone. Happiest Wednesday. And as promised, we are going live for another squad talk. Ayan. If it's the first time you saw me here, my name is Julian Santos or Coach Julie Babe. I'm the founder and co-owner of the Academy, and we are here to inspire you to become a remote career professional. And because of that, syempre nag-invite ako ng mga VA squad namin. So I have this podcast called Squad Talks with Julie Babe, and I have decided to, why not we go live inside our VA Academy page at mag-i-interview ako ng mga past students ko sa accelerator program to share their journey and how they started their freelance career at ano na bang ginagawa nila ngayon. So ayan. Welcome to our squad talk. Medyo early tayo sa schedule just because it's going to be a chikahan. I know this VA squad personally. She's been a good friend of mine too. So I can't wait for you to meet her. But without further ado, I'm going to let her inside our Zoom. But a quick introduction about her. She's been one of my VA squad graduate for I think almost a year or two now. She started as a general virtual assistant and now she is a thriving social media manager and I believe a social media marketer too. So I will let her talk about her story so you can just sit back and relax as we do our hashtag squad talks with no other than Squad Lorenz. So ayan, i-admit na natin si Squad Lorenz. Hello, squad!
Hi, Coach!
Ayan, hello!
Hi,
We are live.
everyone!
Kunyari, hindi nag-uusap kanina eh, no?
Yeah.
So we are live inside our V Academy page. Welcome, Lawrence. Lawrence, thank you sa pagpayag na mag-podcast, mag-squad talk tayo tapos i-live natin sa V Academy page.
Yeah,
I know how busy you are. May schedule pa yan mamaya. Tama ba?
Yes.
What time does your shift start?
I have 9 p.m. shift po.
All right. So ayan. So squads, welcome to our squad talk. This is our first time for this year going live here in our page. We usually go live inside our Facebook group. You can also check it out, your Confident VA community. But today, the spotlight is on you, Lawrence. I will let you share your story and journey para sa mga aspiring remote career professionals, and let's enjoy this 1 hour session with me. To be
Yes.
honest, sa lahat ng nanonood, pa nag-uusap kami ni Lawrence, kailangan mga 2 hours bago kami matapos mag-usap. But without further ado, I think, Lawrence, let's start with, share mo naman yung konting story about you before you start your freelance journey. Ayan.
Yeah, actually, Coach, I don't think that it's a short story because
Go.
dahil sa pinagkukwentuhan po natin before, I think it's a long story. But let me share it with you guys. So, one of the reasons I started freelancing is because dahil na din sa number one, the kita, hindi naman natin ma-deny yon. But at first is also dahil na din sa when I saw Coach Julie's TikTok video last November 2021, I really got interested and I realized that I want to change my career because working on BPO won't get me somewhere. So I started training with V Academy last November 2021, and I was working on a graveyard shift, and during the day naman I was taking the training for almost, I think, almost a month. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, I officially launched my brand on social media last November of 2022. I think it's December 31. So it's kind of year end
New
breaks.
year, new
Yeah.
business, gano'n.
And then po, I forgot I first got my client on February of 2022 with a US agency as a social media engagement specialist.
Mhm.
So I just started it as a side hustle for 5 hours a day for like $6 an hour, since I'm also working on BPO. So I'm working with almost the same working hours with my BPO shift. And then I
Okay.
don't have my own laptop back then pa po. So I'm using the same company issued laptop as well.
Hala,
Yeah. So I
gusto ko
hope
yung gusto
walang
ko
mga
yung honesty sa part na yun.
yeah, so
Sorry
I
na
hope
po.
wala. Okay lang po. So ayun po, actually, when I first got my salary, I kinda felt overwhelmed because sobrang malaki naman po talaga siya, compared to my BPO salary. So after that, I decided, after 2 to 3 months of working with this freelancing side hustle, I decided to resign. And then, I submitted my resignation. Pero 2 to 3 days after that, after I submitted my resignation, my client decided to terminate my contract po.
Oh,
So
wait lang, hinahinay tayo. Parang break up agad. Ang bilis naman. Ang bilis naman ng break up. Lawrence, wait lang ha, i-chunk natin ng konti yung
okay po.
story mo. So, you started working as a BPO employee. Ilang
Mhm.
months or years ka sa BPO industry?
In total po, I've been working for 4 years in BPO. Pero before I resigned, I've been working for like 9 months with this current
Yung company.
yes.
Got it. Okay, tapos, I think while you're working sa BPO na 'to, that's the time where you met me. Like, you enrolled in my
Yes.
program.
Yes
You're
po,
working
correct.
at night, right? And I think
Yes.
that was also the time when you were working at home, reason why you have the equipment
Mm.
to use for the side hustle. Tama
Yeah,
ba?
that's right. I'm a creative writer po for a US publishing company.
Ayan. So, ang unang-una palang, niche mo is creative writing. So, parang content
Yes.
writing.
Yes po, correct.
How did you met this client?
I joined Facebook groups, and
Mhm.
then this, I think she's a vice president or a manager, a processing manager on the agency. And then she saw my application, and then she interviewed me. And then a day after, right a minute after my interview, she sent me an email that I was hired.
Nice. Grabe. What do you think is the reason why you got hired?
That time, maybe my confidence na
Mhm.
kahit wala po akong experience, I make sure that I will deliver results and I give my best on the task that I'm doing with them po.
Awesome. Now, Lawrence, earlier you mentioned that one of the reasons why you have decided to transition to your freelance career is because of the income potential. Parang nakita mo
Mhm.
na if you're earning this amount working for part-time while working sa corporate, nakita mo na pwede mo ring i-earn yung corporate earning mo habang nag-freelance, and what more if you can deliver it full time. But
Yes,
I
right.
wanna know, para sa mga nanonood na they are trying to make a decision as if they will switch career right away, ganyan. Kasi you know me, I don't recommend someone to just quit their corporate job and bahala na si Batman mag-freelance na ako. Kasi walang ganon. Mahirap yon, di ba, Lawrence?
Yes.
And sa journey mo, I think you're able to also catch the advice that I was able to give you, that, Lawrence, don't make decisions right away. stack up your learning, get the client. Kasi pag nakakuha ka ng client habang naka full-time ka, ibig sabihin kaya mong i-market ang sarili mo, right? I mean,
Yes.
you can acquire clients. So, gaano katagal yung months na nag-work ka part-time as a virtual assistant habang nag-work sa corporate bago ka nag full-time na freelancer?
I think 3 months. 3 months po.
Nice. And how was the experience? Like, meron ka bang quick shift or changes na na-experience mo nung, kasi matagal-tagal ka rin sa BPO, 4 years, tama ba? 4 years
Yes,
ka rin sa
for years.
BPO. So, ano naman yung mga changes na kailangan mong make adjustments to yourself while working from a full-time corporate employee na ngayon, full-time work from home setup na freelancer?
Siguro po yung flexibility and then yung, like flexibility and time management because since I'm working full-time po in BPO, I also need to manage my time on how I will work with my part-time client without like yung damaging yung quality ng work ko po. So yun.
Hindi ko alam yun ha, na same siya. Hindi mo na siya ako.
Hindi ko po ba nakwento sa
Hindi
inyo?
mo nakwento ang sabi mo sa'kin ng umaga yung client mo. Anyway,
Hmm.
na-survive mo naman, tapos na, buhay ka pa naman. So, I think it's a blessing in disguise. But for the rest, syempre na nanonood or manonood nito, I would say that what Lawrence did is really challenging, and I don't recommend it for someone who's going to be in this industry and fully transitioning, and it's totally different industry for you kasi medyo risky yon, 'di ba,
Yes.
Lawrence? I'm sure hindi mo rin siya i-advise sa iba.
Yeah.
So, if you are working in a corporate setup, make sure na yung kukunin mong client para sa mga nanonood is yung wala kang tawag din hours commitment. Kumbaga you're not working for a different client kasi mahirap pa siyang i-juggle sa simula. Maybe because si Lawrence medyo flexible na din talaga kung paano siya mag-work sa client niya, 'di ba? But if you are new in the industry, medyo mababaliw ka ng very light doon. So, try to avoid that path, I would say. Lawrence, my next question here is, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career? Meron ba?
One thing, I think meron po. Siguro when I begin my freelancing career po, siguro, one thing na siguro alam ko before entering is, setting clear boundaries with the client and also, learn how to say no.
Sige,
Because
pag-usapan natin yung una muna, yung setting clear boundaries, tama ba? Setting clear
yes.
boundaries to your client. Can you elaborate that more or can you share your story? Bakit yun yung feeling mo na you wish you would have known when you start your freelance career?
Kasi po coach, when I first work as a social media manager, parang madali po akong mag-yes lang ng mag-yes to every client and project na, binibigay sa akin ni client. So, in order for me to build my portfolio siyempre, so, that way I realized na habang tumatagal po parang it burned me out na naapektuhan po yung work ko and also my, flexibility. So, yun.
What did you do to get yourself out of that situation?
So started to have a good communication with my client po. And then while I'm doing that, I'm also trying to, learn or like we call this, learn new skill or maybe read some self-help books that lead me some inspirations, something like that po.
Okay, pag-usapan natin yung topic na yan, Lawrence, kasi I would say that I experienced that too when I was starting, and common siya sa mga bago mag-virtual assistant.
Mm.
Yung tipong we are hesitant to say no kahit na yung hinihingi sa atin ni client is totally different to what we sign up for. 'Di ba? Doon ka lang
Yes.
naman magno eh. If you feel like this is totally new to what you're supposed to be doing. But there's a thin line between you being asked to do something na aligned sa role mo, meaning what you have sign up for, versus yung lahat na lang pinagawa sa'yo. Literal. Parang abuso. Abuso na yung approach. And I just want to clarify that part na may mga times that you would have to also check it and see it for yourself. If the client is asking you to do something, is it aligned to what you're about to do? And if it's not, then you probably uh, should open the conversation with your client. Maging transparent ka rin. Kasi para sa akin, sakit talaga natin mga Pilipino to. Yung we're having a hard time saying no to someone.
Yes.
Parang we felt like if we say no, we are being pasaway o matigas yung ulo, ganyan. If we say no to a client, feeling natin baka bigla tayong iwan ng client o hindi na tayo bayaran, ganyan. But truly, it's just about you setting that expectation to your client that these are the things that I'm so happy to help you with. And if you want me to do these things, we might need to discuss a different compensation of doing a specific activity, especially if it's a big project, right? But if the client asks it for as if you feel like it's a favor, for example, Lawrence, can you help me in editing this picture because I don't seem to know how to edit it? Nasa sa'yo na yon kung do you have that skill? No. Then you have to be honest with the client, right? You know, John, I can try editing this for you, but it might take a while. Will it be best for us to look for someone to edit that photo so you can get it for the timeline that you need it? Maging honest ka rin 'pag hindi mo alam. Yun pa pala yung huling-huli, 'di ba, Lawrence, yung sakit natin na
Yes.
fake it till you make it. Sabihin mo alam mo kahit di mo alam. There are times that it works well, as in kaya mo siyang lusutan, pero I'm not sure about you, Lawrence, but for me sa freelancing medyo mahirap siya. It's either you'll be honest that, you know what, I haven't done it really for other clients, but I'm happy to search in Google how it's being done. Would you be willing to give me a couple of hours or so until I figure it out? Hanggang bumalik ka, you know, I really can't figure it out. Sabi mo na talaga, hindi mo talaga alam. Kasi may mga times tayo na mga virtual assistant, especially sa mga bago sa industry, yung oo ka lang ng oo kay client, naintindihan mo, di ba, Lawrence?
Yes,
Tapos,
yes.
biglang, ano nga yung sabi niya, nakalimutan ko. Hala, nahihiya na ako magtanong. Baka sabihin niya, I'm not paying attention. Di
Mm.
ba?
Yes po.
Versus, the client is asking you something, and then just to verify if I got you correctly, is it because of this? Are you talking about this? I-clarify mo. Para hindi ka na fake it till you make it na, okay, sure, got it. Tapos biglang, ano nga yung sabi niya? Hindi ko naintindihan, di ba? So you're recording din ng Zoom. But going back to your story, Lawrence, I like it that you prioritize building that. Nangingiti ako kasi naalala ko yung mga one-on-one natin. But I'm so happy that one of the takeaway you have is really building that setting that expectation with your client, because it takes a lot of energy and effort for someone, especially if you're new in the industry. Pangalawa, yung learning how to say no. Ayan, pakinggan niyo yan, may podcast ako niya na, yung learning how to say no. Thank you, Lawrence. Ito second, gusto ko tong i-share sa kanila kasi I think you were able to share this to me, being in my program in the
Yes.
past. What is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it? Ayan.
Siguro yung back to my first question po, to our first question, yung I took the risk without knowing or to secure the freelancing industry first. Because 'di ba lagi niyo po sinasabi na we should weigh the things first before we transition to freelancing. Like what happened to me, I took the risk immediately without thinking what are the cons of what of the things that I did. But I did learn from it naman po. So I didn't advise to the co-aspirants or the freelancing aspirants to do the same what I did.
So, balik tayo dun sa story mo. Sinabi mo, nag-resign ka sa corporate, tapos biglang may nangyari dun sa kaisa-isang client mo. Can you talk about it more?
Yes po. So they terminated my contract kasi po ang sabi nila is they parang hindi na po nila kaya i-manage yung finances. So that time po
Ito
hindi
yung
din po.
freelance client mo.
Yes po, hindi din
Okay.
po nila ako binayaran for like a month. Until now, they still have the pending payment.
Invoice.
Yeah, pending invoice. Actually, coach, I didn't know if na-share ko po sa inyo yung parang nagpang-abot pa po kami sa BBB in the US to settle the invoice but wala pong nangyari. So,
Oh,
yun.
nag-reach out ka sa BBB.
Yes, nag-reach out po ako sa BBB. It's just that dinideny lang po talaga nila na they don't have the capacity to pay, something like that.
Oh, because they
So,
might file bankruptcy. So
yeah.
for the benefits of everyone, BBB is a Better Business Bureau. If your
Yes.
client is in Canada and US, tama ba? US and
Yes
Canada,
po,
ang Better
tama po.
Business Bureau. So it's one of the, is it a government agency? Government supported siya, di
Yes,
ba?
government. Yes po.
It's, if I understand it correctly, it's a government agency that can help you kung may mga hinahabol ka sa mga kliyente na nakabase sa ibang country. So, Better Business Bureau. Parang siyang BIR dito, no? Tama ba?
Yes, tama po.
Parang ganun siya. Dito sa, I like how you uh, learn how to take action to that on a legal
Yes.
perspective, ha. Pero hashtag ghost na yung client ngayon. So, ano nangyari? So, 1 month kang, technically, wala kang income kasi kaka-resign mo lang sa corporate job mo. So,
Yes po.
paano ka nag-transition? Paano ka naka-move on dun sa situation na yon?
Actually, coach, thankfully after that, may nakuha naman akong back pays to my corporate work ko. So that budget po na nakuha ko is I enrolled it again on a different course or like on a different niche po. And then while I'm doing the training, I'm also networking with the Facebook groups naman po. And then that's where I found my second client, which is Australian
Nice.
client full-time naman po.
Anong role mo dito sa second client mo?
Social media manager po.
Nice. So, Lawrence, I've heard that you telling the story, nag-enroll ka ulit sa isa pang program. Ano yung benefits sa'yo? Kung personally, why do you think enrolling to a program or not specifically having a coach helped you para mag-move ka sa iyong freelance career?
Actually, coach, malaking tulong po talaga sa akin having a mentor because for me po kasi, I don't like the training like nung video lang na napapanood. Ang gusto ko
Mhm.
po kasi is live and then yun po yung way ko nung pag-absorb ng information. And I like the way po na we have yung parang nagbabatuhan po kami ng questions and everything. So, or having a mentor po is a really big help for me, especially with the expertise, knowledge, and skills that they have na pwede po nilang i-share sa akin so I can also apply it to my clients po, my clients'
Yan.
businesses.
Nice. I'm so happy, Lawrence, that the way you look at things in terms of investing in learning more helped you to, anong tawag dito? Kumbaga excel sa freelance journey mo. But I'm pretty sure you would also agree with me that not everyone needs to enroll to a program or have a
Yeah.
coach. Kasi there are people who would recognize themselves as if they can learn things on their own. And if ikaw yon, nanonood ka ngayon or you're watching the replay, it's also fine. It's not hindi requirement. Hindi requirement na magkaroon ka ng personal coach mo, mag-enroll ka ng mga paid program. It's just that may mga tao lang talaga na they need someone to support them. Like Lawrence,
Yes, that's right.
Kasi they recognize the need na kailangan nila ng buddy, kailangan nila naman nag-check sa kanila. Gusto nila yung mga batuhan na question, yung mga nagdi-disagreement, yung mga ganon. And that's where they learn. But truth be told, not everyone requires to have or to attend to a paid training or program. Just like mine, I also do coaching for virtual assistants and freelancers, but hindi siya requirement na parang prerequisite for your success. Walang ganon. So may mga tao lang talaga na they recognize they need help, and that's one thing that's also good for you if you are a person who is able to recognize that you need someone's support for you to excel. So, napakaganda an advantage yon. So, Lawrence, from an Australian client, you are now a social media manager. Alam mo, sobrang laking niche ng SMM market, 'di ba? Pwede
Yes.
mo bang i-share sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon kung ano ba yung mga ginagawa ng isang social media manager sa experience mo?
So, based on my experience po, most of my daily task with my clients is actually I have multiple clients po, so I have different tasks with them. But the most common po is the content creation. And then everything about content creation, content scheduling, the graphics po, video editing, and most of the time po I am the one who's doing the content from scratch. So
Mhm.
from the resources, references, trends, musics, yeah, everything po.
So,
And
parang
also
go, Lawrence.
So actually din po aside from the social media management, I also do community engagement specialist for some clients. So they have like yung replying to comments, DMs, sharing stories, the generations, something like that po.
So, parang ano ka na talaga, pang social media VA,
Yes.
'di ba? So,
Social
by
media.
the way, squads, for those of you who's listening, yung mention ni Lawrence, it's two different type of niche or role, 'di ba? When you are a social media manager, depending on the market or industry that you're supporting with, kung katulad ni, anong industry ng client mo, Lawrence?
Restaurant, hospitality po.
So hospitality, that could mean you have to post pictures of the menu, inviting people to visit the restaurant. Kunyari, yung mga ganon, di ba? So gagawa ka ng content caption, yung mga type of content that will attract him to visit the restaurant or order
Yes.
food, mga ganyan. So napakalaking role ng social media manager kasi technically you are managing the business, aka the restaurant, virtually. And since people are all online, napakalaking chunk ng market na nasa'yo. So, ganun yung responsibility. On the other hand, the community engagement manager, is that what you mentioned?
Yes po.
Um, I believe it's like social media engager where you
Yes.
entertain audience. So, kumbaga, you are the voice of the brand or the business. So, the way you communicate, kumbaga si Lawrence, yung isa sa mga tao behind a brand. So, kung feeling mo si Beyonce yung nagre-reply sa'yo pag nasa Facebook page ka ni Beyonce, si Lawrence yun. Joke lang. May mga tao
Yes.
behind it who's managing the page. So, these are the people who keep the page and the brand alive, talking to the audience and make themselves relevant in the industry. Lawrence, quick question. Kung bibigyan ka ng chance na magbigay ng advice sa mga aspiring social media manager like you, ano yung tingin mong tatlong skill na kailangan meron sila na makakatulong sa kanila na maging isang social media manager? Hindi naman kailangan skill intensive.
Siguro ano po, first is the confidence. Dapat may confident po sila na kaya nila kasi kung kaya po nung natin siyempre kaya din nila, and then also trust po with their self, and then the third one is the passion to help the client.
I like it. So you mentioned about confidence, trust, and yung passion. What I like the most with what you mentioned is yung passion kasi it might sound weird for others, parang OA,
Yes.
ganyan, 'di ba? But technically kapag naging isang virtual assistant ka or support, especially social media, napakalaki ng responsibility mo na yung trabaho mo as a virtual support is a big chunk of the income, a potential sales nung client mo. So,
Yes.
especially if you are a community engagement manager kasi you are the voice of the brand. O, diba? Ibang klaseng the
Yes.
voice. You're the voice of the brand. So, kailangan yung the way you want to engage with people is the same way on how people who's visiting the restaurant, who's buying the product, ganun sila i-interact ng brand. Hindi porket
Yes.
you're having a bad day, you sound like you're having a bad day talking to like a brand. May pinagdadaanan ba 'tong brand na 'to? Bakit parang bitter siya today? Mga gano'n. Hindi puwede 'yun. So, you play a big role to supporting the success of your clients. Yung sinabi mo naman na confidence, Lawrence, can you elaborate it more? Anong ibig mong sabihin dun sa kailangan meron kang confidence sa sarili mo pag kung gusto mo maging isang social media manager?
Ako pa si coach, when I first started, parang medyo hesitant pa po ako. Kasi parang hindi ko po nakwento sa inyo, but I really decided to maybe stop na or parang hindi ko na ituloy. Kasi
Mhm.
medyo nagda-doubt po ako sa sarili ko before because I'm not able to deliver results, I'm not able to provide best service to the clients before po. Pero as a time passes by, I realized na I just need to trust myself po and be confident na um, not everything works overnight. Na
Mhm.
I need to trust the timing of my work, and also I just need to enhance my skills more.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Hindi mo talaga 'yan sinabi sa akin. By the
Nakalimutan
way,
ko.
baka may nagwo-wonder na iba 'no, sa accelerator program kasi I usually do a 30-minute, one-on-one Zoom with them. So, after the program, nagzo-Zoom kami ng mga 'yan, and then for the entire year meron kang 30-minute time with me every month to consult, just to monitor your progress and how are you doing with your business. I like what you mentioned, Lawrence, because I think hindi lahat ng aspiring virtual assistant na lang, in general, is nakakarinig ng gano'ng story na nagfe-fail din sa una, 'di ba? Especially kung social media manager ang niche na napili mo, hindi yung strategy na ituturo sa'yo ng coach mo o yung napanood mo sa video, sa YouTube, or sa isang free resource is magwo-work agad sa client kasi social media is just something that you can't predict sometimes. It's a crazy human being.
Yes.
'Di ba? In my experience. So, you really have to play around with it and spend X number of times to test your strategy before you even sell your strategy out. And I think that's exactly what you did. And most of the time, kapag kaisa kang social media manager at nag-fail ang strategy mo, dyan na yung pinaka starting point mo na, okay, this is challenging me. Let's see how much can I stretch it. And I like it that you did not give that up, Lawrence, when you were starting kasi 'di ba nga totoo naman talaga 'yun eh. Hindi mo matatawag yung sarili mong social media manager ka or marketer ka kapag hindi ka nag-fail sa una kasi wala kang basis. Kung
Yes.
nagwo-work ba talaga siya, 'di ba? So, I'm happy that you see yourself progressing kasi na-recognize mo na, wait lang, baka kaya hindi siya nagwo-work kasi may kulang lang ako. Or baka kaya hindi lang siya nagwo-work kasi meron akong ginamit na strategy na hindi bagay dun sa industry ng client ko. Baka kulang ng research, baka kulang
Yes,
ng
tama po.
back-end, marketing strategy or, anong tawag dito, market research. Tama ba yung ang dami, demographic, 'di ba? Tama ba yung content ko? Ang target audience ko ba is really 30 to 40 million female? Yung language ko ba ganun o Gen Z ba yung ginagamit kong caption, 'di ba? So, there's a lot of things that you have to play around with the content, the strategy if you wanted to become a social media manager. But just like what Lawrence mentioned, um, it's really hard to start because everything is just gonna fail right in front of your face. But it's up to you if you're going to take that courage and trust to yourself na, ay hindi, kaya ko to. Let's give it a shot one more time or 3 times. I don't know how many times that is. Hanggang sa makuha mo talaga yung cycle mo, 'di ba? Kasi hindi yan, I would say, pagalingan sa una eh. 'Di ba, Lawrence?
Yes,
Patatagan talaga 'yun ng loob. Na
correct.
nakikita mo small pa lang yung progress mo, pero this time kasi may client ka na, so kailangan produce ka na ng result. So, I'm really happy that you push forward and you see yourself thriving in the industry, Lawrence. So, ang sabi ni Lawrence, if there's three things that she want you to remember if you're an aspiring social media VA is the confidence to yourself, putting that trust to yourself, and then yung pangatlo is nakalimutan ko, Lawrence.
Passion po.
Yung passion mo of doing your work because you know that it plays a big role in your client's success too. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Hindi ko nababasa yung mga comment ngayon pero mamaya pupuntahan ko. Ito, what are the best resource that have helped you along the way? Ano ba yung mga resource na nagamit mo from the time you started sa freelance journey up to now?
Siguro po number one is yung mentorship. And then yung second po is the networking with other freelancers and also the Facebook groups po. Kasi in the Facebook groups, that's where I got all of my clients. And then through networking, they were able to give me some advices then tips. And if I need help, I was able to, I can reach them anytime and they are more than happy to give me the help that I need.
Great. Nakatambay ka pala sa Facebook group ha, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, i-reveal na natin yung isa sa mga the VA Squad way na acquiring client na ginagawa natin. So, for those of you who's wondering why is it that Squad Lawrence is, kept on mentioning about Facebook group, the way we attract clients, direct clients, is that we join Facebook group. So we literally network to people in a form of groups. So for example, there's female community group. So si Lawrence mag-add siya doon. And what we do is that we just engage with them. 'Di ba, Lawrence? So
Yes.
we engage with them, we answer some questions that they have inside the group. And then if there are opportunities, correct me if I'm wrong, Lawrence, that it requires our expertise. Hindi man direct client pa ha. It requires our expertise na pwede namin isagutin yung mga tanong nila about social media, digital marketing, ganyan. We answer and participate or engage in the comments. And then, yung lastly, these are the type of groups that, of course, these are series of digital entrepreneurs. Syempre, kailangan din nila ng support, di ba, Lauren? So there are people who's posting job opportunities inside those group and doon na tayo pumipili kung sino yung client na gusto nating maka-work. If yung nilagay nilang, I'm looking for a social media manager with the following strengths, or should I say, ang tawag dito, qualifications. Pag nakita mong sarili mong qualified doon, then magme-message na sila, hi, I message you. Kanya, pipili na ngayon si client. So, ganun yung ginagawa ng mga freelancers, and that includes the people that I mentored in the past and the VA Squad way. We attract clients directly through networking, which means we find a group or community that our ideal audience is joining, participating, and then we engage with them from there. Lawrence, ikaw, ilang groups na sa tingin mo yung kasali ka ngayon na network ka?
Siguro more than 20, I think.
Oh, di ba? Kamusta naman ang experience mo sa pag-network with, ikaw naman ang mag-share ng mga strategy mo sa mga nanonood ngayon? Paano ka nagne-network sa client at paano mo na-close yung mga client na nakuha mo na-meet mo rather, sa Facebook groups?
Actually, coach, hindi lang po clients yung mga nami-meet ko sa Facebook groups. I also met different kinds of freelancers in different niches. So I think I can already call them my friend because whenever
Yes.
actually when I encountered po yung sa may issue with my first client na hindi po ako binabayaran, one freelancer reached out to me and siya po yung nag-guide sa akin na kung ano yung gagawin ko po. And then he also, sometimes po nire-refer niya ako sa previous clients niya and then nagkakakwentuhan din po kami. Ayun po, so malaking bagay po talaga yung Facebook groups for me.
Yes, and I also like it how you mentioned that pag nasa mga Facebook groups ka rin, 'di ba, Lawrence, you also need to open yourself to network with your co-freelancers. Kasi syempre,
Yes.
hindi naman lahat client mo, 'di ba?
Opo.
So may mga ibang tao din na katulad mo, na katulad natin na naghahanap ng client, and napakaganda na meron kang mga, we call them friends, freelancer friends, na
Mhm.
pwede mo ring i-reach out kapagka may na-meet kang client na hindi aligned sa service mo, you can refer someone. And I believe, Lawrence, 'di ba, mag-yes ka rin dito na napakaganda na mag-no ka kay client, hindi dahil lang na wala kang, hindi mo skill 'yon, and you don't fake it till you make it, because
Yes.
nakakaloka 'pag ginawa mo 'yun. Pero you can refer the client to a different person. Like, "You know what? I think you're looking for a video editor. I know someone who can do this for you. If I can refer you to a friend of mine." Maaalala ka nung client na, "Uy, alam mo si Lawrence, hindi imbis na sabihin niya na, 'No, I don't provide this service,' sinabi niya na she knows someone who do this specific task for me." Maaalala ka ng client na tinulungan mo siya, without getting anything. Depende na lang 'yun kung gusto mo kumomisyon sa sa friend mo. "Uy, friend, i-refer kita ha, may referral ako, ganyan. Pero it feels good, to help a client, and at the same time, a freelancer friend na magkaroon ng client. Kasi gano'n din yung ginawa nila sa'yo, 'di ba,
Yes po.
Lauren? So, that's a hashtag tip for me. You also network with freelancers in the industry na matututunan, matuturuan ka din if you share the same market, or kung magkaiba man kayo ng niche, then it's a good referral ecosystem ng referral, 'di ba? Sa pag-acquire ng client hanggang sa magtayo na kayo ng agency niyo. Kasi
Yes.
iba-iba kayo ng niche, ayan. Question ito Lawrence, question dito, anong tawag dito? If you can advise someone to start their freelance career this year, like right now, 2023, ano yung mga best advice mo sa kanila na dapat nilang gawin to get started?
Maybe mag-umpisa na lang din po ako sa, don't look for a right time to start. So if you decided to start it right now, because wala naman po talagang convenient time for being a freelancer. So if you think that you have the skills and the confidence to do it, then just do it po. Huwag kayong matakot if wala kayo experience, because the skills can be learned, and also there are clients that are willing to hire you and give you the experience naman po. So, yeah, that's my advice.
Gustong-gusto ko yung sinabi mo, Lawrence, kasi 'di ba, sobrang dami ring tao ngayon na natatakot ako mag-remote work or mag-virtual assistant kasi wala naman akong experience, and lahat na nakikita kong job posting, kailangan may experience, 'di ba? All the more 'pag nag-direct client pa ako, papaano na, parang ganyan. And it's so good to hear that from someone who also started the same. Kahit na may corporate experience ka, ang hinahanap mostly ng mga direct client is yung VA experience talaga. But I like it that sometimes you get to just be honest with the client and to yourself that, um, it's going to be my first time handling a client. It's going to be my first time being a VA, but I'd love to walk you through with the skills I have acquired that would really help you in your business. So, nasa sayo na lang yon, di ba, Lawrence, kung
Yes.
sasabihin mo ba sa client, "Unfortunately, I don't have a VA experience," or would you say, "You are going to be my very first client if given a chance." Parang gano'n. Kasi feeling ko gano'n yung ginawa mo nung nag-start ka. So, I hope that inspires you kung nanonood ka ngayon or i-replay mo 'to, na hindi lahat, 'wag mong ilagay sa isip mo na lahat ng client kailangan may work experience. I think depending on the level of role na ipi-play mo as a remote support, pero may mga ibang VA job positions, even direct lines, na hindi nila kailangan na may VA experience ka. And to be very honest with you, someone who also experienced hiring people for a client, ang reason talaga kung bakit naghahanap si client ng may work experience, hindi dahil sa experience nila sa trabaho, sa expertise nila, but yung discipline of working lang. Yun lang naman talaga yung gusto nilang i-confirm. Kasi pag nagtrabaho ka na, 'di ba, as a VA, iba yung disiplina. Yung hindi ka manonood ng TV pag work mo, hindi ka matutulog, mga ganyan. Yung ganong simpleng discipline. And I also remember what you mentioned that um, skills is something you can learn. Sobrang agree ako doon, Lawrence. And may quote nga ako doon, di ba, before yung skills is something you can teach, but character is something you hire. So, ang mga client, hindi yan sobrang galing mo hire kita. Most of the time, they look at your character. How do you present yourself to them as if you are someone who's really willing to help them and support them thrive their business and help them achieve whatever goals they wanted to achieve. So, yon. Lawrence, thank you so much. Ang bilis ng squad talk, parang kaya mo pa ng 1 hour ulit. Lawrence, thank you so much for joining me today. I know how busy you are, but I think we call it a very quick squad talk. Maraming salamat sa oras mo. I would like for you to find time in sharing how can they reach you. So, pwede ba silang makipag-connect sa'yo sa social media mo? So, please share your social media handles and
Yeah.
ayon, those stuff.
Yeah, actually, I'm currently rebranding my Instagram, but you can follow me at Lawrence Socials, and also you can follow me on my personal Facebook and LinkedIn account, Lawrence May Vanguardia. And if you have any question, just send me a message, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you guys.
Document natin yun. Kung pwede daw kayo magtanong, sasagutin niya. Kahit sobrang
Yes.
busy. Kahit dala-dala mo na yung client niyan ngayon. Diyos ko, ewan ko na lang. Lawrence, thank you so much for your time today. My last question, and we always do this during my squad talk. My last question for you is, what does it mean to be a VA squad?
So for me, coach, being a VA squad is to be able to share my knowledge to my co-freelancers and also be an inspiration for them.
Nice. Pang Miss Universe yung sagutan. Lawrence, I'm so
Yeah.
happy with you. I am praying for more success and blessings sa iyong VA business. I know i-invite kita ulit sa Squad Talk. Maybe next year. May agency ka na. Naku, baka nag-hire ka na
Yeah.
ng mga VA ha. Ayan. Lawrence, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for those of you who join us inside our V Academy page. It's our first time going live inside our page. Stay tuned para sa ating mga next na i-interviewin sa Squad Talk. Kasi nag-invite tayo ng mga iba-ibang remote career professionals for you. Lawrence, sending you loads of love. I'll talk to you again really soon. And V Academy squads, thank you so much for joining. Always remember to be confident, be inspired. V Academy, loads of love. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you, squads.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thanks,
guys.
Lawrence.
Bye, coach. Thanks.